Boom! Okay, back again. Welcome to Stoptalkingball, where the real ballers talk. Got a few guests on the show. I'm excited for this one. It's gonna drop some gems, some knowledge on some football, and then just gonna have some fun while we're at it.
You know they could be us, but you like to play too much. Don't need no hoe, I'm building up, I'm talking all my guys. Bet I don't play with me. I had my dream, now switch the scene. Nobody gon' carry the team, we do it together. You know it's our time to kill. You know that money on.
So, like to introduce yourself?
I'm Suny Rai, football analyst.
Cool. You got
Leon, football analyst.
I'm Jonathan, injured footballer.
baller. So obviously I'm Troy. So Sonny, tell me a bit about yourself. You said your analysis. Tell the people what they want to hear. What is that?
So I'm an experienced analyst. I've worked in public healthcare, other industries as well. But I decided I wanted to become an analyst in sport. That's why I did the MSc in sport analytics, where I met you guys.
Yep. And how are you involved in that analysis as well?
So, I've only just been. I would say I'm quite new into the analysis industry. Of course, I used to play a bit of ball myself. But yeah, I'm in 50-50 of doing performance analysis and of course going into the data analysis as well. So
Yeah. So, Sonny, when we first met, was it about 2 years ago now? A year and a half ago?
Probably November 2021.
Yeah. So 2 years ago now, nearly. So obviously I was playing for East London Uni, and then you came in and done your you came in as a head analysis. What was that like? What was that experience like working with a university football team? I think that was the first time you worked in the football industry, right?
Yeah, completely the first time like work with a team, and like I'm not gonna lie, I was quite nervous walking into the changing room with you guys, especially when Ryan put me on the spot and
threw you in the deep end.
it's like I'm used to talking about stuff backed by analysis, but we didn't really have analysis in place at that time. So it was a bit weird to be put on the spot and speak to you guys, but really good experience, really good group of lads, and that was a great season compared to I think the last one you lot.
Yeah.
So some really good memories. I'm still in touch with some of the lads from that group.
Yeah.
Sancho, John Ojutalyo.
Just
every now and then.
He just made it. He just got recently had a pro contract, didn't he?
Eastleigh.
Yeah.
who's John?
Yeah. Great player. So but you enjoyed the overall experience, and I guess you're still involved in football now.
Yeah, I think you see what's possible when you go in like that, the blank slate. We used the Catapult GPS technology to track the running stats of the players and all of the GPS tracking data. So it was really great to be able to test that and get familiar with it, especially with the Catapult tech, because that's the best on the market. That kit that we had was about 30 grand. Each pod was about 1.2k, and the dock itself was 10k. And do you remember that time when one of the players threw the pod in the bin after training?
Someone threw it in the bin. I remember it got lost or something. We couldn't find it for a while.
Yeah, so basically after training, I know exactly who's got what in pod, because I wrote the numbers down and I know who's got what. And I won't say the player who was assigned to that pod, but there was one missing at the end of it. So Simon's getting everybody's bags checked and all this, and like Ryan saying nobody goes home until we find it.
Yeah.
But after a while, it appeared, and somebody said they found it in a bin. So I think somebody must have had a bad training session and just chucked it in the bin.
I was screaming.
That's so disrespectful.
1.2k.
That's crazy. People don't realize, they don't understand how much things are worth. But so last year you was part of the analysis team for UEL as well, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about that. What was your role?
So I was practically the lead performance analyst, but we didn't have the GPS tech there,
Yeah.
probably due to that reason. But
Nobody knew about that. We never reported it.
is it? So that's say, gosh, well, no, we didn't get to use any of that. So what a majority of the time I did was just record the games,
Yeah.
and of course do my analysis on it, create some clips for you lot to see,
Yeah.
and do some opposition analysis too in it. The experience there, it was a funny one. Though, don't think I got the best support, but make the best of what you're good given a
Yeah. I
minute.
feel like you was kind of thrown in the deep end as well because you had no support. You just given a camera and said like do your thing basically.
Yeah, and that's practically what I had to do. I'm lucky enough I have enough knowledge in
Yeah.
football to like support me in it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I didn't, I think it would have been a difficult time in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from that, it was a good though. It was of course I was doing analysis with non-league as well. I think we were both at Corinthians at the time.
Casuals, yeah.
So literally when I started working with UEL, I was doing Corinthians at the same time as I'm playing. While I was doing non-league
Yeah.
to UEL, and I think that's what helped out.
Well, what's like the main difference then between? Is there a big difference between analyzing games at non-league? What's Corinthians? They were step 3 at the time.
They
And-
was step 3 or step 4?
So it's very
Step
yeah,
3.
and obviously at university level.
I think in general in teams what we've been analysing, they're pretty much the same. It's long ball, long ball.
Yeah.
Except with Corinthians, they wanted us to look at opposition analysis, but we didn't have
Yeah.
access to VO equipment.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much going onto YouTube, looking at as much clips we can and recent dates, and then just going from there.
Yeah.
And it's not to say it was the worst thing. Like, could have been better situations there, but it's the same again, dealing with the cards you dealt with.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only thing different compared to UEL.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah, because you was thrown in the deep end. But to be honest, I like watching games back and like making clips,
Yeah,
highlights. Like you guys see my
I like
highlights.
clips of everything.
Yeah, I do like it, but the things like, because obviously I studied sports coaching and performance. Obviously we just graduated. Big up for everyone for graduating.
I know.
But yeah, like the coding part was just so boring. Like clipping every pass, every shot.
You did coding?
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like
What type of coding was you lot doing?
so we used Huddle, and then we just did it from like we just practiced it. We did it from like games against like Arsenal, Chelsea, and things like that, where we had to just code every pass, every shot,
Yeah.
and I just found that
That was pretty much what I was doing as
tedious.
well, innit? And I feel like the only thing is if you're a player, you don't want to be doing that long thing. Like you don't want to be doing the coding for every pass, every shot,
I mean,
every
but
cross.
every other player to do it for every player is long. For one person is easy. I think.
100%. But you gotta understand if you're playing the sport, you don't want to do that. It's all for
Yeah.
the analysis side to do that, and sometimes it's hard work because if you've got 3 games in a week, the work's
builds up.
heavy, man.
This is why I'm building an automatic detection model.
Yeah.
Essential.
It's technology similar to you see with the automatic number plate recognition.
Yeah.
Camera will see the license plate, find out how fast the car's moving, or find out what zone it's in. You can automate the process. So
Yeah.
an AI model will detect what's going on. It will detect the player numbers, detect
Yeah.
phases of play, what's a corner, what's a shot.
Yeah.
If you look at VO, which is what I recommended the uni get when I finished, because all the other unis have got these VO cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You set it up. Once you upload the VO camera game, it does some automatic stuff. So it will know when the kickoff happens. It will know what's the corner. It will know what a goal is, and that's all automatic.
It tracks the
detection.
ball as well, right?
It tracks the ball. So there's 2 cameras on the side. So it's got like a panoramic shot.
Yeah.
And then once the game's done, the camera will focus on the ball. So
Yeah,
it's very
great.
clever how
I
it
think
works.
you mentioned that. I think so. You see how we've been using Metrica. So we've been using this new software,
What's that called?
Metrica Sport.
Yeah.
So it's quite a new software, and I think they're the only one I've used because I think I'm used to Huddle and VO, but I think Metrica is the only one I've seen that's had that automated tracking. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to use it though because of course you need multiple cameras to set up the whole view in it. But I do think that'll make the whole analysis game a lot more easier if all technology was going towards that way.
Yeah. So, Jonathan, you played non-league and futsal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bit of a long story, my one.
Go on, tell us a story, because I know I've I met Jonathan 3 years ago now, start of uni, and you've been like basically my boy since uni. We've been through it together, them long library nights, like the stresses, like. But
Facts.
tell them a bit about yourself.
Um, well, yeah, I had a non-league journey ish. So basically, when I was like, I played football when I was 4. Obviously, I played into it. Just love sports and whatever. And then when I was after college, I played. So I was playing for Crystal Palace development team. You know, like how they got like college games and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was doing one of that with Crystal Palace. After that, I went straight to Spain. So I was playing like in the second division in a Gibraltarian league. And then
How
yeah,
old was you then?
I was at 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 19 playing men's football, playing against like players, like international players. So people who play for the Gibraltarian National League, playing against them. And then I was there for 6 months. I came back and then had like a couple trials here and there. Like couple, I think a League Two team. And didn't really go well. And then I just went down a non-league route.
Yeah.
I was like playing for Carshalton, Kingstonian, Bedfont Sports, and yeah, just teams, Lewisham Borough and whatnot.
Yeah.
What position did you play?
So I like playing wings, yeah, but they put me in defence, so I naturally developed and become a left back. So now I like playing left back. But as I was younger, I was always defiant, so I was like, I didn't want to play there.
You left-footed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're talking about football, but I know you play a bit of futsal as well. We had Hassan on the show previously, and he was the futsal captain at UEL.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that, because I know you're really into your futsal as well.
Yeah, so after I came back from Spain, I think I broke my leg. Just before I broke my leg, I started getting into futsal because like some of my friends were playing futsal, and it was good. And I just generally enjoyed it. It was less players and it was faster. And then I broke my leg. After that, I was like, I need to get back into it. So I just enjoyed it. I came back after 6 months after breaking my leg, and then I just played futsal and I just fell in love with it, and that was it really. And then I joined a team called Genesis. They train at UEL, funny enough.
Okay.
Played with them for I think a year or so, a season, and then I left and then joined another team called CM Enfield, and then I was captain for them. And then dislocated my shoulder, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then that season, just before the season finished, before COVID, I was top goal scorer. So
That's a lot of injuries. So
Yeah.
was it you broke your leg, dislocated your shoulder?
yeah, my recent injury happened last year. I tore my ACL.
So ACL.
Yeah.
Still recovering from that now, isn't it?
Yeah, so I've got like 6 months left.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I came out my brace officially today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's your plan for back? You trying to get back into non-league, or you trying to done, or?
No, it's not me done. I might do YouTube football. I might go abroad and play football. I don't know. I just want to first just have kick about with my friend and whatnot.
Just enjoy it again.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I've been itching to play.
I seen you do because you got the modeling thing going on as well.
Yeah.
How did that advert with like Pogba and the Man United players come about?
So funny enough, so just before I broke my leg, I think it was the year before. I think the same year I broke my leg, 2017, right? My friend must have told me to like just come to a tournament with him. We went to a tournament. I think our team came like second or whatever. So we had like loads of like coverage around our team and whatnot. And then like I was asked to come to a shoot like the week after, and then from there like I got in contact with like all these Adidas people and whatnot. And then I went to a casting, just open casting, full of like there was like 40, like at least like 40 boys in a small pitch in Shoreditch. And then the guy told us like the guy told us what we had to do, like this basically he broke down what you have to do in front of the camera. And then how that happened, like we explaining this, and I was standing right next to him, and he goes, so everyone understand what we're doing, so you're gonna go first. And I was like, oh, like I'm on the spot now.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I literally just went first. I literally had to do a skill, talk to the camera and whatnot. Done that. As soon as I finished, I ran straight to the toilet and just like had to calm down, and then that was that.
Yeah.
A week, I think the next day, I found out I got the part.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then from there, done the shoot in Manchester with him. So I met Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, and there was another player who played in the youth team at the time, but I forgot his name. No, at the time it was what's that guy's name? The Dutch one who used to play for them, centre back.
Not a clue.
But anyway, he was there. But anyway, I met them all at the thing, training ground. Then after that, a week later, I got called to go LA with them. LA flew me out to Man United.
So
Blind, Danny Blind.
Nah,
Haley Blind.
not Blind. The black guy, I forgot his name though.
Nah,
You don't know, you must know.
I'll probably say a bit.
Eric Bailey.
Tazabi.
Axel.
That's-
Tanzania.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He was there. So I met him as well
Okay.
at the time, but he was way younger.
yeah,
So yeah,
That's adventurous story.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
mad story. So then, what did you start modeling from that, or did you?
No, I've been modeling. I like everything I've done since a kid. So like,
Yeah,
play football since 4. I started modeling at 6,
yeah,
and it was just like literally just if I'm not doing one, I'm doing the other.
yeah,
Literally just been like that for my whole life.
yeah.
So
And in
from-
the advert, they kind of intertwined, right?
Yeah, literally, it's just it's like what I do,
Yeah,
hand in hand in it. So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, cool. So I want to delve a bit deeper into the analysis type stuff. So so you've got analysis company, right? And I guess you work in non-league clubs. So what is it? What could you tell us a bit about that? What exactly is that about?
Yeah, sure. So last season, we focused on opposition analysis at Corinthian Casuals. That was more video-based analysis, but also whatever we could find. So it was like a match pack with information on the team that they're about to play, using whatever we could find. So if it was like 3 or 4 highlights off YouTube, then we'll analyze that. If we could get a full game, then obviously that's better. And the other things we're doing is this season we'll be doing scouting.
Yeah,
There was a slight misunderstanding of what analysis is.
yeah.
The last team.
Do you know what? I feel like non-league, yeah, especially like step 3, step 4 levels, like they're so far behind with the analysis type stuff. Like it's so easy to just film a game, pick it apart, dissect it. Not easy, but the managers are still just like
They're old
they're
fashioned.
backwards, they're old fashioned. They're just like, oh, we know how he plays and all of this. They don't realize the importance of it. I don't think.
I think
I
that's
think
what the
It's
issue
like
we
a
had.
shiny new toy to a lot of coaches.
Yeah.
They don't really know what it is, but they know they want it.
Yeah,
And they know it's a buzzword. It's going to make
Yeah.
them sound good when they talk to the board or the chairman about things. But the reality is, we ended up doing scouting, and it's very different to analysis. But because I've got guys like Leon with me and like we're adaptable, we did it. We went to Cosholton, you went to, I went to Wingate and Finchley, I went to Hornchurch, watched the game, scouted it live, made really good report.
everywhere around London.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
we've had a plan to do a lot of games until December, but obviously because of the agreement we had in place wasn't honoured, let's say, so we're no longer there. But
it happens a lot in non-league. Happens
Yeah.
a lot.
I think unless you have a written contract,
Yeah.
then you don't have anything.
Especially if players' wages. Now I've been messing around with money at numerous clubs. Happens all the time. It's just like because they feel like they can get away with it. They can get away with it. It's just like
Yeah, they
and
were
then-
trying to push you in it.
yes, it's things like that. Like a lot of things in non-league is just like unspoken about, but it's like everyone knows it's happening, but no one wants to mention it. Things like not paying players properly,
Oh, tell me about it.
just like the things that annoys me as well is like young players. So they'll be at a club during the whole of pre-season and like working, grinding, thinking, yeah, they got a chance. Like they're playing all the preseason, gets the final 2 preseason games. They'll bring a lone player from a couple leagues above, whatever, and be like, yeah, sorry, budget's cut. Like we can't pay you all. Like we can't guarantee you minutes. You have to find a team, and then they're just there like, well, I don't have a club. It's just it happens all the time, and things like that really annoy me. Yeah.
I hear that one for real.
I think it's good experience, and the thing is, the same values you have in life as a person carries you through, and just like we're still in contact. It's like everybody who you've had good experiences in life, you kind of keep in contact, and
Yeah.
people that are
Shouldn't
rolling
burn bridges.
wrong,
Yeah.
it's gonna come out. Like you can't, if you're not a person of your word, then like you get bound out. You can't hide like with these things. So
Yeah.
I think yeah, we carry on. We've got the right skills in our team. We've got data analysts, performance analysts. We can now all scout games, which I never thought we'd get into. We've got data scientists developing algorithms to do crazy stuff. And we'll be able to use that in house when we analyze games. So I think we're in a good position.
Yeah.
The next focus is creating articles using data analysis. I had a chat with a big agent for Indian Super League teams, and I said, "How can I build a partnership with the team over there? Because I've got some students that are here from India. They're gaining the experience in terms of their studies. But how can we get them like a connection with a team there, so when they go back, they've got a club to go into? Because it's mad there. Like the City Group own Mumbai, so like
Crazy.
Mumbai is just going to win the league every year there. But yeah, I digress. Basically, he said that to get the attention of these clubs, you've got to be putting content out there. You can't just say, "I'm an analyst, employ me." You've got to have like really nice written articles. So whether you're doing that to get the attention of the clubs or the fans of those clubs, that's a key route to get into
Yeah.
that market.
Yeah. So basically, advertising yourself, letting people know what you've done, and yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's fun, interesting pieces.
yeah,
Like I used to write for Leighton Orient. The season when I was working with you guys, I bought a season ticket for Leighton Orient because it's like 10 minutes down the road for me where I am. And I, as a Liverpool fan, I haven't really watched that much football, say, below the Championship. So I thought it was important, watch Orient, see what that level's like. Um, it was interesting, but that was the season they had Kenny Jackett. So they didn't perform as well as they did last season.
yeah.
But it's yeah, just by chance I got chatting to somebody whose mate ran the program, so I did some writing for them, and it's good practice because how you write for an average football fan is very different from how you write for a university. It's very different how you write a technical report for coaching staff.
It's all about the context, right?
Yeah, you got to put more jokes in as well to
Yeah.
keep them engaged.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I do sometimes. I do enjoy reading the end of like match reports and games and that when they have little jokes and stuff. Like it just makes it a bit more entertaining. But so yeah, so like obviously us three just graduated from UVL. What was it like balancing life, football, uni,
Oh,
work,
mate.
and everything?
Crazy.
What was it like?
It was stressful, but it was like, obviously, for me personally, because I kept university quiet from away from people, it was like, people always looked at me as like, why are you not coming out? Because I just tried to just separate the two, whether it's life, football, whatever. I just tried to separate, but my main focus was uni.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was hard though.
What about you? How did you manage balancing uni and life, basically?
The first 2 years were interesting, innit? Because I should have really finished uni last year, innit? But I was doing, before I got to uni, I didn't have no interest or no. I wasn't looking to go to uni, innit?
Yeah.
I think I was kind of going there because I didn't have any option after, innit? Because I was doing. So before that, I was kicking ball serious, and it's like a similar situation, non-leagues. Like you know, they don't need you anymore. The other players, and I kind of lost the passion for football in it. So I kind of went to uni not knowing what I want to do, and I was just doing dumb stuff in it. I wasn't really going down a path that I didn't want to go through.
Was this in your first year?
Yeah, literally before in it. So because every time I came into my lessons in uni, I was just sleeping in it.
Yeah.
So literally, I was just using it as a recovery class for what I was doing whatever I was doing outside in it. But then eventually, so I had to retake that one in second year, and it was kind of a blessing in disguise in it because I got my first job in it. So I was working in a warehouse, and that carried on to, because I couldn't go back to my second year when I was doing retake. I had to wait a whole year to go back and then come into second year. And that's when I was in your lot here, innit?
Yeah.
But I can't lie, I don't know how doing the work. So I was working 40 hours minimum a week whilst doing second year. I can't lie, it was stressful.
100%.
It was too much. And I don't know how some people are working in third year, to be honest, you know.
It's hard.
Because I was even doing that. Then, of course, I coached boxing as well. So then I was having to balance that out.
Yeah.
So for the third year, I can't lie, I think it was much easier than doing second year. Doing the work in the studying just didn't make sense in it.
Yeah.
It was just times I felt like I was a zombie practically most of the days, you know.
Nah, I feel you.
But apart from that, I don't think it was that bad. It just depends how you use your time wisely in it.
Yeah, literally. Thing about uni is so many distractions. Obviously, you've got girls, you've got
That's when you
parties.
stay on campus, though. I think you stay on campus.
Yeah,
I did.
but just
Good distractions.
yeah,
Big. Yeah, I did my undergraduate in 2003.
yeah,
So this September is like 20 years since I did my undergraduate. But like, yeah, you got to enjoy it fully. You got to dive in.
yeah,
I moved from Birmingham. If you think my accent is strong now, when I was 18, never left Birmingham. The first day I moved into Canterbury, I'd never been to Kent before. So I was like, what is this quiet little place? Where's the nightclubs at?
I'm
You know,
screaming.
there's like 2 nightclubs in Canterbury.
yeah.
But like we started DJing, we made our own like business.
Nice.
Like, we made the most of it, but like it's not easy balancing it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of
100%.
smart people dropped out of uni, and I think, like, how did that happen? How are they so smart but yet couldn't balance everything?
I don't ever think I don't see that as a big problem though, innit? I feel like if you got a plan that doesn't involve uni, go doing it. And sometimes it would be the dumb ones, it would be the smart ones. But I
Yeah,
think
facts.
if you got something to focus on outside of uni's not always the best option. I think uni, if you know what you want to do, and you have to go through that uni route, then it makes sense. But I don't think it's always the main
There's
option,
nothing
innit?
on the sports analysis course that's been useful for Corinthian casuals or Potter's Bar.
100% not. But considering because I was doing sports science as well, I don't think anything had any relation to what I was doing. I think the only time I actually studied some performance analysis is when we did it during that second year with what's my man's name? We did it with Ali, and we did it with someone else with a great.
Dominic?
Nah, not Dominic. He had glasses.
Yeah, I know.
Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Nick. Yeah, I think
Nick.
Nick. Yeah, my man. But yeah, I think that's where we briefly went through
We
performance.
didn't do
analysis.
any video performance analysis on my course. So
I
no
didn't.
video at all.
I didn't at all. I didn't do anything in it, and it's weird because, like, I've seen a couple of guys. So you lot have been coaching, but you've been able to go to West Ham and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get none of that. It was just
7 Oaks.
Seven Oaks was only a placement option in it. But apart from that,
That was the only one available to us.
for
Yeah. I chose the degree because it had like a West Ham badge on the front. Of the
Literally, that's the same one of the same reasons.
In Orient, I was like, I've got a season ticket at Leighton Orient. Wouldn't it be good to do a placement there? So when they turned around and said Seven Oaks is the only option, and you're going to be doing video performance analysis, it just like threw me off my studies completely because I had to learn something that I didn't want to learn, knowing that I don't really want to do that in the future. But it was the first year of a course, so I think, yeah, other people probably having a better experience. But if you do the first year of a new course where they're kind of finding their feet, probably should have chose a settled course really at a university that's ranked a bit higher. But you live and learn. Like, no regrets because So it wouldn't be here right now if I didn't go.
So I
to
mean,
uni.
no regrets, because university, although it might not be for you, you meet some amazing people. Like I wouldn't have met any of you guys. Um, it's not just about the course itself. It's not about just getting that degree. It's about the experiences, what you go through. Sounds like I'm selling uni, but like honestly,
No, but
like,
it's true though. It's really
with
true
with with me, because obviously, like my goal is to play professional football still. I'm close, but it's like university was kind of a way of me having sort of an excuse to like not be working full time and just have an excuse to be training every day still while studying, while coaching. Like my first year I was doing a lot as well. So I was obviously I was I was working in primary schools. Had my own one-to-one coaching business. I was coaching a football team separately. I had a Just Eat job as well. Obviously studying and that. It was a lot. It was a lot. My second year, I just stopped working completely. I was just fully focusing on football and university. But then I got injured, so it was just like. So then my third year, I started working again. So it's all about just living and learning, balancing life.
100%.
What works for you might not work for someone else. It's just trial and error type thing. But I would say people look at you funny when you say, oh, like, what do you study at uni? And you say, like, oh, sports coaching and performance. And like, what does that do? But it's like,
Yeah, they don't see
what I
the
learned,
picture.
what I learned through like working with West Ham, like through our lecturers, and like obviously playing football as well. It's just like it has helped me mature, but it has been beneficial.
100%.
But yeah, okay, cool. So let's dive into some prem talk. Um, the main issue at the moment, the top of the news, should I say, is Jadon Sancho. So like obviously he wrote a statement and posted it on Twitter about basically saying don't listen to anything you hear on the news and stuff. Like they don't always tell the truth. Basically, in response to what Ten Hag was saying about him not being very good in training, he picks the team based on performances in training and stuff. But yeah, seems like there's a lot going on behind the scenes we don't know about.
I haven't.
What's your
I
opinion
haven't
on
seen
that?
his Ten Hag's response. You know, I haven't seen his statement in it, but I know he's done that to a couple other players though.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
He seems like the type of guy that he doesn't really care about feelings as such. He's a results guy.
He's
But-
chosen him to make an example out of him, I think.
I don't think that's a good thing though.
The latest one today was he said that the culture was all wrong. So his justification is that like powers above him gave him full permission to change the culture there. But I think, yeah, I remember how he used to play at Dortmund, and he's a serious player. I
100%.
think,
Well, his Dortmund highlights are crazy,
yeah,
crazy.
like we
Compared
should
to
start
now.
it here. We need to get him at Liverpool. Like, no players don't make that move from Man U to Liverpool, but imagine him under Klopp. Like, it would be insane, insane.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people say he's not suited to the Prem. He's more suited to.
I don't think he should
the
have come
German
back.
league.
I've always said it. He shouldn't have come back. It's like any player that leaves, any British player that plays abroad, they flourish. You can see it. And then the moment they come back, it's just like, it just goes down for them. Do you know what I mean?
But you know what it is though. I feel like Prem's the place you want to be at though. It's like it's either there or one of the big teams in La Liga, innit? Real or Barca. So I feel like when you come to the Prem, it's like you're at the top of the top.
Yeah,
So for you to not be able to play there and have to play somewhere else, I feel like it kind of shows.
But you're a
You put it-
baller though. You're playing Champions League. You're in a well-established league. Do you like, for example, Bellingham and him at the same time, they were both making names for each other, yeah? And then Bellingham stayed the extra season. Now look,
100%.
I think Jadon's left, yeah? And it was like, if you had stayed that extra season, could have been a different talks. Do you know what
But
I mean?
I think Jude's a different breed though. Jude's got a different mentality.
But but they were talking about both of them at the same time. There's two Englishmen in Germany are causing a mad thing, and there's only reason why Jude's gonna flourish because he's by himself now. Do you understand?
You think?
100%. Because I think Jadon, as an English guy, for me, for example, I played abroad. I played with other guys that in Spain with me. So it's like, all right, cool. If I know I mess up, there's a guy that understands me. Do you understand? Now it's just like, it's me by myself. It's me. I'm doing this. That's why he plays like that. He had to play like that. That's what I personally believe, because that's what it is. Whereas Jadon, when he was there, he can look good, pass it into thing. He will do this thing and whatever. Do you know what I mean? But now it's just like, all right, you tried to go for the glitz and glamour, the perfect return, like Pogba. Same thing. Glitz and glamour, come back, and it didn't work out. No, it's not made for everyone.
That whole glitz and glamour thing, though, I feel like it's that's not for the Prem, though, innit? I feel like in Dortmund, when he was in Dortmund, you can get away with it, innit? And God knows what's going on behind the scenes with Jadon Sancho, innit? Like, for me, I know that there's sometimes distractions as well because of the area he's come from, but I'm not saying that as an excuse.
Yeah.
But for him and Jude Bellingham, I think Jude Bellingham's just always had that mentality from young, innit? That's always separated him from the other English players, innit? So I don't know, man.
Yeah, but that's like personality thing. So like, I feel like in the English like Premier League, they care too much about what you do off the pitch. So it's like people comment on like the way he dresses, and, like the lifestyle he has.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, this guy's a millionaire. Like, what he can
Everyone's
dress a
focusing
certain
on
way.
the
Like,
100%.
Have you heard the
100%.
story about Klopp when he first met Mane?
oh, he said he was looked like a gangster
Yeah.
or something.
Because
Klopp looked like a gangster.
because he had a cap on, or
Nah,
something
man.
to do with the cap or his haircut. He didn't like the first impression with Sadio Mane.
Is it?
That's insane.
I don't think
He never signed him based on like
I'm screaming.
whatever prejudgment he had in his mind. But then I guess he realised his mistake and brought him to Liverpool. But yeah, what a top guy Sadio Mane is.
Yeah.
Like, for somebody to not have the full information on a player and make a judgment like that, you think, where's your scouting? Who's doing the homework? Like, there's like professional companies that are basically spies. They will put information together, a dossier on a player. They will look at what time you went to sleep, what time were you on social media, is he settled, has he got a girlfriend? Like, the amount of information that they compile on players these days is insane.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's like, surely that's got to be like invasion of your privacy.
Practically,
But-
isn't it?
If you are on social media at 3 or 4, don't think nobody won't know. Because there's clearly like tools and software out there that can.
That's why most of these guys have finsters.
Yeah, I see someone liked Mason Greenwood's Instagram story, and then he was getting slated on Twitter and that for liking his Instagram post.
What?
He liked
Just-
Instagram posts.
It was a Man United player, I might be wrong, liked Mason Greenwood's Instagram story
That's
of him and Getafe.
crazy.
And then like people are screenshotting it already. Like, you can't, like, even I seen something of Rashford the other day. He was like walking with a girl like out of his car. So everywhere already. It's just like
People getting
they have
onto
no privacy. They can't do nothing.
That's the celebrity life, though. That's the fame that comes with it, innit? And I think I wouldn't say it's a blessing. It's a good thing because people, you get your fans, but it's also your life's practically gone, innit?
He's used his profile to do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
I think if you got that platform and you're not doing good things, you're not helping your community, then yeah, you're wasting it really. I know some people just want to play football and they don't want the rest of it.
It's crazy. Like, say I become a professional footballer tomorrow, I'd have to delete all my socials. Basically, I'd have to have a team managing my Twitter, managing your Instagram, managing your Facebook, whatever. You gotta have a whole social media team.
Isn't that all choice, though? Isn't that all like with them if they want to
It
do it?
is, but you'd be silly not to do it if you're playing in the Premier League. I think you'd be silly not
Just
to
have a Finstagram, bro.
have
Big one.
yeah. But with promoting their business, like Rashford promoting Save the Children, giving out free food and stuff.
School
You
dinner.
think Rashford's writing all these tweets? It's not him. It's his team behind. Obviously, he's got the final say, but they're not in. Footballers nowadays are not in control of their posts, their Instagram accounts, their Twitter accounts. It's all a social media team behind it.
Should be though, like focus on your
In your game, no, 100%. 100%. There's too many.
Distracted. And look at all the girls that are going to be throwing themselves.
Yeah. Don't even get me started.
That's
Can't even imagine what his DMs are like.
all
That's-
them players.
I'm
Do.
saying that I see a couple footballers slide into girls' DMs and they always get a
Yeah,
screenshot in them.
Too scary, man. It's too scary.
Like one Masaki, he's got like a whole girlfriend and that, like sliding in girls' DMs and that.
And he's getting caught.
Get caught
Yeah,
lacking. That's why, yeah, you can't be DMing girls on Instagram. Keep it on Snapchat so they can't see it.
Nah.
Right,
Even then, they'll
Snap-
Even on
screenshot.
Snapchat
Yeah.
is scary, bro. That's the worst platform, I
Yeah.
think. Anyway,
Yeah.
You don't need none of that. I do a bit of Insta, do a bit of Twitter. That's it.
even I think Twitter's too toxic.
No, Twitter's toxic, but Twitter's
too
the best.
toxic.
I feel like,
If you need instant, if you want to know something, go on Twitter.
yeah,
but
it's like the news.
it's just it's
I don't use
too
Twitter
toxic.
too much, you know.
I think
but I know it's the
don't
best-
have it.
It's the best app for everything now.
Football Twitter is like.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Literally, so as a non-league player, I would advise anyone to get Twitter because
Oh, easily.
like
Mm.
post a goal, retweet, like literally clubs. Like this summer, I'd had countless, mainly all the clubs that contacted me was through Twitter.
That's crazy.
Obviously, every time I score, repost it, whatever.
Stuff there, innit?
That's
Um,
crazy.
Like there's non-league pages, there's like scouting pages, there's stuff that can help find you find clubs and that. It's all on Twitter.
Well, you sent us a link for Corinthian Casuals last season.
Yeah, so
Shout out Justin.
yeah. So I plugged you there. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yes, Twitter's good face because all the non-league managers have Twitter.
Every player as well, isn't it now?
Yeah. There's Twitter Spaces as well where clubs
I've
and
been off Twitter for so long. I don't even dare.
yeah, there's like live
crazy.
podcasts like these talking on Twitter.
I don't even think it's
About
called Twitter
games
now.
and
It's
that.
X now, isn't it?
X, yeah.
X.
I don't know why they changed it.
You don't call it X.
Something to do with Elon Musk. But
Crazy.
yeah, like definitely as a player, as a non-league player, get Twitter because it's like
Mm.
it just gets your name out there a little bit.
Yeah.
That's where you're seen. You want to be as visible as possible.
Not just players, coaches, analysts. Everyone needs
It's
to
like-
get on it.
Obviously, it's not as professional as LinkedIn, but
Would you recommend LinkedIn for professional players?
definitely like
I recommend it for everyone.
yeah, everyone should get LinkedIn because
I
it's
know
like
for business wise, but for players, because I've
Yeah.
seen a couple of players on there shout me about their scouting and everything,
yeah,
and they get into clubs and so on.
because
and so forth.
obviously the sports industry as a whole is about who you know, and
yeah,
it's not about what you know. Like I said, you could be the most qualified person ever, whatever, for all these badges, but if you don't know anyone or no one knows about you, and you don't have any relationships with anyone, you're not gonna get anywhere. So it's just definitely LinkedIn is definitely a place to, because all the coaches got, all the managers got it, so it's definitely a place to connect with people, and you never know who you can connect with. So definitely get LinkedIn. But yeah, I think as a sports person in general, having social media is a good way to connect with people. Definitely. But yeah, so did you talk about the Potter's Bar trial? So you
Yeah,
wanted to
so,
touch on that?
Did you do the trial in the end? You did one
No,
of the games.
so-
didn't you?
So me, I don't like going for trials because it's like, unless it's like obviously like a professional club, it's like. But even then, I hated trials as a kid because it's like, I don't know. It's just me as a player. I'm actually a greedy player. Like I like to take on people and stuff.
Reckon-
yeah, no.
Remember
I'll
that
say it,
time
innit?
You passed the ball like 3 months ago.
I'll say it, innit? But
I'm
like,
screaming.
obviously, like I've improved a lot on that respect compared to when I was young. When I was 9 or 10,
Never really seen that ball.
I would never pass the ball the whole match. Like.
But I think that's every younger though,
But,
innit?
yeah.
Especially if you're good on the ball, you're never gonna.
I think I think it can be a positive and negative. When I was younger, like 8, 7, 8, 9, I was so much better than everyone else. It was just like,
What's the point?
it was just too easy for me. Like
That's crazy.
when I was at West Ham. When I was at West Ham, there was a lot of good players there, but like I just didn't pass. Like I was just going through everyone, scoring like hat trick every week.
You said the
Against-
academy.
Yeah, against like Chelsea, Southampton. I was living in Bristol at the time, but then I moved to Bristol City because the traveling was too far. I was only like 9 years old at the time. Was there for like 5 years till I was 14. But even my whole probably till like my last season, like I wasn't my biggest weakness was my awareness and my passing. That was my biggest weakness because it's like I just held on to the ball too much, which has helped me because I feel like my best attribute is my dribbling, getting around people, scoring goals, and obviously my physicality. But like, yeah, that was something that I had to work on, my passing. And then when I was like 14, I developed diabetes, and then that's when so I didn't play for about 3 or 4 months because I was really ill and stuff, and like even today it like still affects me when I'm playing.
Does it?
Yeah, so it's like
Type 1 or type 2?
type 1. So like with diabetes, yeah, it's like you got to manage your sugar levels basically. So every time I eat, I have to have an injection. So it's like, to put it simply, like your when you eat, you have it produces glucose, right, which gives you energy and stuff. But to break it down, your body produces insulin naturally, but I don't produce any insulin, so I have to inject it when I eat. But obviously, if you have too much insulin, your blood sugar levels will go down, which is called a hypo. So it's like you start feeling dizzy, you lose energy, like you feel slumped, you start sweating and stuff, which often can occur during football because obviously it's high intense, you're running a lot, you're sprinting a lot, so your blood sugar levels are going to drop.
Of course.
Whereas if there's too high, your muscles will cramp up. Like sometimes in games, my calf will cramp up and I know instantly like, oh, my sugar levels are too high. And it's like, obviously you lack energy and stuff because it's like, it's acidic. It's like basically poisoning your blood because you got too much glucose and sugar in it. So it's so hard to manage. It's got to be perfect. So they say between like 4 and 8. So having it at 6 is perfect. So like some games I'd be like 6 thinking it's good, and then by half time it would be like 3 because it's dropped because I've been running around a lot and stuff. I've been like, oh, why am I playing so bad? It's like, oh, makes sense now because obviously I've got no energy. Whereas certain games I'll like have some sugar, like have some Lucozade before the game, and it's gone up too high, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense why I'm tired at like 60th minute. So
That must make it difficult, though.
it is difficult.
That's
It's difficult,
mental,
but
bro.
now I don't have it on me now, but like
That patch thing.
Is that what the patch was
sensor,
for?
yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
now in diabetes, like it's becoming common for everyone to get like a sensor put on them, and you basically scan it with your phone. So it's like now I'm seeing more players with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, like when I see someone with a sensor on them, I'm like, okay, you've got diabetes. Like, how do you manage it in that? Because
That's crazy.
you don't really, top athletes it's very rare for diabetics to make it at the top level.
Of course, yeah.
So obviously I want to be like a person that says like, nah, it don't matter what illness you got or whatever, like you can still make it.
How do you manage your nutrition then?
So
Because you got to be very wary of like.
yeah.
you know.
I say like if I was I would say a normal person, but if I didn't play like football or like I wouldn't consider myself like an athlete, I don't think diabetes would affect me that much. It's always when I'm playing football and stuff where I think like, well, I'm focusing on like managing it correctly. So like obviously I say you can eat anything, you can pretty much eat anything as long as you inject. So what it is there's carbohydrates. Like see this cake for example, yeah. So let's say that's got, I don't know, 20 carbohydrates. So I would have to turn my insulin pen to like a dial of 4 because I have to divide it by 5. So I'll turn it to 4 and then I'll inject that much and then that should be fine. So it's like, yeah, I can't really eat, can't just eat
That's so
sweets. I can't
crazy,
just
bro.
eat anything sugary before a game.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It is a lot to think about, but most people with diabetes, you wouldn't even know they've got it because they just look like everyone else. Like
100.
type 2 is slightly different. So type 2 is like,
Genetic, isn't it?
so no, type 1's genetic. Type 2 is it's basically like
That's
onset,
bad.
like you brought like.
Brought it on in it, yeah.
It's usually people who are overweight.
That's mad.
It's a big one
Comes
in
with
the
old
Asian
age.
community, type 2.
Yeah,
Lots of like sweet, sugary things.
yeah.
That's so crazy.
So obviously people with poor diet, it doesn't just happen all of a sudden. Like it's very rare for like a child to get type 2 diabetes, but like usually people like older, middle age and that, you can get if you've been eating poorly like your whole life, not doing much exercise, like that's where it can develop. So like I always make a joke when people ask me like, oh, what type do you have, like type 1 or type 2? I'm like, well, I'm not fat in it. So it's like, but yeah, it's like it does affect it, but I just live my life like the best I can. So just
Doing well, managing it.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to know, like what your energy is without technology and testing it.
Like the technology for it is getting better. Like before I had to prick my finger, that used to be so annoying. But now I've got the sensor, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
And it's just like trial and error type thing. So if I notice like a few weeks where my sugar levels are going low at a certain time, then change my diet accordingly, or maybe adjust how much insulin I'm taking, or things like that. But yeah, like a lot of people you wouldn't know have it. A lot of players I'm seeing now, if you see any players or any like thing on their arm or anything, like they've probably got diabetes.
Mental.
So yeah. All right, cool. Spoke about a lot, dropped a few gems in there. Okay, is there anything like you want to promote or anything you want to address or say or anything?
I guess just what we're doing. Yeah, SPORTEKK.com. The website's going to be up soon. There'll be lots of information about what we can do. I'm going to do some individual player reports as well. So we can help out individual players, create something to sell themselves, to promote themselves. I want to get into like recruitment data analysis. I think that's a key area. So yeah, there's lots of things we can do, but it's hard getting the right opportunities in football. And I think from what's happened so far, I'm going to be a bit more wiser in choosing the next options rather than just jumping on the first offer that comes along.
Yeah.
I think to implement analytics, you got to have a solid foundation of other stuff.
Yeah.
You can't, when everything else is a bit wobbly, you can't implement analytics and get good stuff out of it. You have to have a solid base and stability. So lots of good things happening, and also one of the key focuses, it's a developmental platform for analysts to get experience. Like working as a team, we've been able to do a lot more than if it was just one person, because like everyone's got other jobs as well. So I think it's been really good. Like Albert Spinks, what a guy!
Yeah.
He's come on board is like
met him at my UEFA C course. Introduced you two together.
He actually introduced us to the Metrica.
What's
really
that?
bright
The
guy.
Metrica, the software.
Oh, okay.
Software,
Yeah. That's what I mean. Football is all about who you know.
Yeah.
Literally.
So I think lots of good things happening.
Yeah. And can they find you on any socials? I know you said you don't really use socials like that.
Twitter, SPORTEKK on Twitter. There will be an Instagram at some point. We're on LinkedIn. Feel free, hit me up with a message anytime. Be good to do something more, gain some more experience.
Yeah. Leon, anything you wanna say?
I'll do so. I'm part-time an S&C coach, working with footballers. Right now, boxers as well, but I practically work with anyone in any sports. So it's health is wealth, 24/7. I'm on Instagram. That's the only platform I'm on right now. But yeah, if you ever want to do a session,
So
yeah.
any athletes, football, any sports really,
Any sports,
hit you up, yeah?
any sports, particularly any level, recreational, competitive, doesn't matter. If you want to train, health is wealth. Health's important. Come through.
I'm going to come for a boxing session in the next few weeks.
Gonna have to, Sonny, man.
You know, boxing training is one of the hardest things. Oh, it's so hard and
It's
so
weird
intense.
though, cause like a lot of people say boxing's harder than football, but then football's also very hard.
Yeah.
It's got its own complexities to it in a way. So
I used to kickbox in my undergraduate for the university. So I play football too, decent at cricket. But yeah, individual sports was always my thing. I never used to pass it either.
Yeah. For you. And Jonathan, what you got for us?
To any coaches looking for a left back, I'll be out soon. 6 months time. as well. I got a single out on Friday, All Black.
Yeah,
Look out for it.
Yeah.
smashing it.
That's it.
This, I feel like you're being a bit humble. This guy does everything. So
Modeling, artist,
modeling,
footballer,
Yeah,
rapper,
coach.
coach,
Yeah.
futsal player.
Yeah.
Just got a degree.
That's it. What else do I do? That's it.
Yeah. So ladies, if you're single, hit 'em up.
No, no.
I'm joking. Okay, cool. Find me, Coach Waters 1-to-1 on Instagram. If you want any 1-to-1 sessions, I'm there. Also PT sessions, let me know. If you're interested in going out to America, I've also got some opportunities in America that you might be interested in. If you're below the age of about 22, you can be aged from 14 to about 22, and I've got some opportunities for you. So just hit me up on Coach Waters 1-to-1. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook for that. And then I've also got a 6-week training program as well. If you're interested in that, get that summer body. Trying to look like Leon over here.
Yeah, so that was this.
But yeah, if you wanna get involved in that, let me know. And obviously, Stop Talking Ball on all the socials. So we got Stop Talking Ball on Spotify. This will be out on Spotify very soon. Stop Talking Ball on YouTube. Stop Talking Ball on TikTok. TikTok, we're doing pretty well. Trying to get to 1K followers.
Follow.
Instagram, Stop Talking Ball. Doing all right on that. Let's get to 200 followers by the time this comes out. And yeah, Stop Talking Ball on all the socials, even on Twitter as well. Yeah, Stop Talking Ball, where the real ballers talk. Peace. Like, subscribe, comment.
Shout out the 3-point collectors.
Yeah.
Did your team win this weekend?
Nah. Also, just comment on anything you want to see, anything you want to hear, what you thought was good, what you want to see, what you want to listen to, and yeah, let me know. If you want to come on, shout me as well. Peace.
Easy. Oh, wow. Where the real ballers talk. That's catchy.